Starbucks cake, but you can't have a Starbucks cake without the matching Starbucks cupcakes. So go check out last week's video. I'll be putting a link down in the description below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. You will start out by filling and stacking up your cake, and then with your piping bag, you're just going to go along the top and then the sides, and with your angled spatula, just smear that out. And then I take my piping bag, and then I always add extra along the bottom and the top because you really want a very thick rim around the top. When you go back and scrape off the excess, then you will have a nice clean straight edges, but we're not there yet, so just bear with me for 1 second. And we are going to just take our scraper. I bought this one at Hobby Lobby, but you can also buy them online. I'll be putting a link down below. Then with your scraper, you're going to go all the way around your cake, and then you're going to go back and see any little holes or any little marks or anything along the cake, and you're just going to fill that in with the excess buttercream and just smear that out a little bit, and go back one more time and just scrape along the sides, and there you go. Now you have a perfect side base to your cake. So now for the top portion. Now I know you're wondering how we're going to get that very straight edge. With my scraper, I'm just going to wipe it off with a damp rag. I always wipe my scraper off in between each swipe. With the scraper, you're just going to put it at the top of the cake, and you're just going to pull towards you. Pop this in the fridge, and then we're going to color match some green fondant. And today we're using the satinized fondant. I always use satinized just because it's a really good brand. I've never had any problems with it. I don't have to constantly worry about it drying out. And because we're just doing a ribbon along the bottom, we're just going to be rolling it out like a snake. And then we're going to just sprinkle along some cornstarch, and we're just going to roll it out with a rolling pin. And I'm rolling it out to about 1/8 to about 1/4 of an inch thick. It's really up to you on how thick you want your ribbon to be. And then don't mind me, I'm cutting mine with my X-Acto blade, only because I misplaced my ribbon cutter until after I did the cake. But I really recommend buying a ribbon cutter. I'll be putting one down in the description below that I have, because honestly, this thing is a lifesaver when you're trying to make a bunch of ribbons the exact same size, especially when you're doing present cakes or anything like that. Anyways, so once you have your ribbon ready, then you're going to take your cake out of the fridge, and we're just going to brush on lightly with a little bit of water just to give it a little bit of something to adhere to. And we're just going to place it on the side of the cake, and then I turn my cake as I put the ribbon on, because if you try to move the ribbon around the cake, the fondant is really easily able to stretch out, and it's not going to keep the same exact width as when you cut it. So keep that in mind. After you have your ribbon on, then you're going to steam your fondant. You want to steam your fondant now before you put on your edible image, because the steam will mess up the image if you try to steam it afterwards. So take the time now, go steam your cake. And now for the edible images. So you can purchase these for about $10–15 if you can. I honestly really recommend that you try to fit 2 of the same images on 1 sheet of paper if it will fit. Sometimes it won't fit. In this case, it was a 6-inch cake and it wasn't gonna fit. But if you can, it's always really nice to have a backup one just in case you mess up. And with my X-Acto, I'm just going to lightly cut out my image. It's always really nice just to try out a few little test swipes in the corner, just to give you an idea of how deep you want to really cut. And then with my angled spatula, I'm just going to work in one of the corners and very carefully just go around these sides and just peel off the excess. Images tear very easily, so be patient with them, and last thing you want is to tear it just to buy another image. After you have your beautiful image cut out, then you're going to roll out a white sheet of fondant. We rolled this out to about 1/4 of an inch, and then we're just going to brush on a little bit of water. You don't want too much water, and we're just going to set our edible image right on top, and then go back around and cut that out. you're ready to place your image on the cake. And then last but not least, you're just going to go back around the top and pipe in a border with number 4. And there you go, now you have an amazing Starbucks cake, but just don't forget these showstopper cupcakes. You can't have one without the other. Hope you guys loved this video. Don't forget to tag me in your photos if you try this at home using the hashtag Lovesome Recipes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.